The alleged mastermind behind the September 11th attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, says, yeah, he'll help the victims of the attack in their lawsuit against Saudi Arabia, but there's a catch. He wants the death penalty off the table. Come in, retired Colonel Maurice Davis, former Chief Prosecutor at Guantanamo Bay. Colonel, are you okay with this? He helps the victims if we don't kill him.
Yeah, he seems to have had a change of heart. When I was the chief prosecutor about a dozen years ago, his objective was to be a martyr, but apparently over the last dozen years he has decided he'd rather live. So he's
well,
trying to leverage this to
as
his
a prosecutor,
advantage.
Are you okay with doing a deal like that?
Well, prosecutors do deals all the time. I just find it hard to believe, though, we'd do a deal for someone like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who, responsible for 3,000 deaths, that we would take that off the table in a case like this when it's such an extreme case.
Why has his trial not... I don't think his trial is over. Why not? It's, what, 18 years after the attack?
Yeah, it's really a shame that, particularly for the family members of the 9/11 victims, that they've been denied justice for this long. And September of 2006 was when the high-value detainees were transferred to Guantanamo, including Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Since then, the only one that's been tried and convicted was Ahmed Gilani, who was brought to the United States and prosecuted in federal court in New York. He was convicted back in 2010 and is doing a life sentence. But KSM and the others have floundered in the system down at Guantanamo, and there's just no end in sight, which is unfortunate.
Is the trial not over because KSM was waterboarded, and so any evidence that may have come out of that waterboarding cannot be used? Is that why he's still in prison, untried?
That's one of the reasons. I think there's a multitude of reasons why. In my opinion, having looked at the evidence years ago when KSM first got to Guantanamo, there's ample evidence to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt without using anything he has said since he's been in our custody, which doesn't excuse us for engaging in torture, but it would make that irrelevant if we don't need to use it. So I think we could try this case successfully without using tortured evidence.
Have you met him?
I haven't met him in person. I was there during some of the interviews with some of the team members that worked for me, and I watched on closed-circuit television, but I never met him in person.
What's his demeanor?
Well, at least back then, he was a very arrogant, very proud person. To me, I've debated this in my own mind over the years, whether the death penalty is the right thing. That's what he wanted back then. I think for him, the ultimate penalty is being irrelevant, because he's a very proud, very arrogant guy, and I think the notion of spending the rest of his life being totally irrelevant is the worst punishment imaginable. So this 9/11 case and the opportunity to be a witness in that, for him, gives him some renewed relevance, and I really hate to see that happen.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. Colonel Maurice Davis, thank you very much for joining us this morning, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.